Yo, what is going on, guys? I'm back at it again with another video, I guess. I know it's been a while not uploading, and I know this channel's content is all over the place, going from reacting to Khan to channel introduction to Darkness of Intelligence, like a lot of all over the place content. But this is just for me bantering and having fun with it. This channel is not for seeking publicity or seeking attention. I'm just having fun with it and trying to express what's inside of me. That's it. So another disclaimer, this video is going to be talking about dimensions in space. I am just a 16-year-old in high school, grade 11, who never took physics, let alone astrophysics courses. So this is just my experience and what I like to do, what I like to search for, and this is going to be my attempt to try and explain the spatial dimensions. But without more further ado, let's just jump into it. So first, I'm going to be trying to describe or explain what are dimensions in the first place. So basically, dimensions in the simplest form is just planes of existence. That's as simple as that. It's just a plane of existence. So, and I know it might be confusing at first, plane of existence, but stick with me, it's going to be pretty simple. So planes of existence. So let's start by describing what's zero dimensions and work our way up. So a zero dimensional is basically a point, just a point. Okay, it's just a point. That's all it is. First dimension is just two points connected with each other. The simplest form of that is just a line, an infinite length line. So the first dimension is just a line. Second dimension is something that has length as well as depth. Okay, very simple. Length and height, length and height. So the simplest form of that is just four lines connected to each other. I guess it's a very simple concept. It's a square. Okay, it's an infinite square. That's as simple as that. That's a two-dimensional plane, object, whatever. The third dimension is something that has length, depth, and height. So the simplest form of that is a cube, an infinite cube. Very simple, I guess. Basically, scientists have not completely decided what's the fourth dimension because it's a little bit of a complicated subject, but it's mostly agreed upon that is time, that the fourth dimension is time. Without getting into time so much, I'm just gonna say what's its representation of object. It's a tesseract. But before I show you the tesseract, or I guess I'm gonna show up a model right here, we cannot see the tesseract at all because we are third dimensional beings, right? The most we can ever perceive is a third dimensional object, which is basically another human in real life, anything in real life that you just walk down the street or live and see, or able to comprehend. So what you're seeing on the screen, what you're seeing me right now, a third dimensional object, right? I'm a third dimensional object that's compressed to your screen into a two-dimensional form. Okay, what you're seeing me right now, I'm an object that has length as well as has height, but you cannot see my depth because you're watching it through a screen. If you were to talk to me in real life, you would see that I obviously have depth, right? So I'm on your screen, a two-dimensional object. That's the same with a tesseract. So it's a fourth dimensional object that if it's compressed down into something that you could grab into your hand, it's going to be three-dimensional. But in the case of this video, it's compressed even more to your screen into a two-dimensional form. And you could pretty much keep doing that with a fifth-dimensional object, a hypothetical sixth-dimensional object, seventh, eighth, and you can keep going. But that's pretty much about it, without getting too far out of the conversation. This is something that I just thought about and based completely upon my observation. How can us relatively weak three-dimensional objects or creatures um, be gods to something, you know. And I know religious people, maybe atheists, will get triggered, but stick with me here. How can we be gods to something? So let's say we're able to get a super powerful computer, something that has crazy power that is unwitnessed currently in our society, because we don't have that kind of power yet, or science. A quantum computer, whatever. And we make a program that has somewhat of machine learning or artificial intelligence, basically life, okay? But it's just in a program, right? And they can think from this for themselves. They can do whatever they want in their plane of existence, which is a program that I'm currently seeing. So let's say there is a super powerful, the most powerful creature in their plane of existence can destroy the whole civilization, can destroy planets, can destroy even galaxies. For me, I can destroy him immediately, like without even trying, because I am like a single plane of existence above him, or even perhaps a little bit more, a couple more planes of existence above him. So if he's able to destroy his universe, I could just delete the app and he's gone. You know, that's basically the concept of God in real life. Yeah, so no matter how strong can we get us, you know, as three-dimensional, let's say a creature of us has infinite three-dimensional power, so he can destroy galaxies, whatever, okay? A being that's four-dimensional can immediately erase him. To put that into a little bit of kind of an anime term, let's say a creature that's two-dimensional, okay? We have a creature that has length, infinity of length and infinity of height, okay? So in his plane of existence, on a two-dimensional plane, his power is infinity squared. So like he's crazy powerful. But if I take that creature and put him in a third-dimensional plane, right? In our plane of existence, I take a two-dimensional creature and who has infinity squared power. I know this is getting complicated, but in his plane of existence, and I take him and put him on our plane of existence, since one of his stats, which is depth, is equal to 0, anything times 0 is 0. So infinity squared times 0 is 0. So even though I am a very weak three-dimensional creature, I can still destroy him without even trying, because he will simply not exist. He will not be able to perceive the three-dimensional plane, as one of his stats is equivalent to 0. Yeah, so I know I went rambling on a lot of things, creatures, gods, whatever, but this is just what I thought about. Another thing, to put it into an actual established kind of example, is anime, you know, or comic books or whatever. I'm gonna use Dragon Ball Super for this example, but I'm not gonna get too far into anime itself. I'm just giving an example, a hypothetical example. So let's say Goku and Jiren, for example, okay? When they were having a fight, technically they are three-dimensional beings with fourth-dimensional power. And I know that's kind of hard to perceive, but in episode 111, when Jiren was fighting Hit, and Hit put him in a time cage, and Jiren broke through it, it was stated by Vados that Jiren transcends time itself. Which basically means he exists in a three-dimensional plane, but he has four-dimensional power, which basically he can control time. If you get what I mean. So I know that's a little bit of an anime concept, because technically that shouldn't be possible. A three-dimensional being can only have three-dimensional power. But basically in anime there is a lot of or in fantasy or fiction there is a lot of concepts that would just simply be impossible in real life. So when someone says, oh, Dragon Ball or Marvel, whatever, cannot pass the speed of light, so they must be weaker, they cannot stand a planet explosion, that's just stupid. Because in anime, we can see characters travel from one end to the other end of the universe in a minute or two, which is basically should be impossible in our real life, because nothing could pass the speed of light, and the observable universe is 93 billion light years in diameter. So even if you were moving at the light speed, it will take you 93 billion years to cover the current observable universe. Yeah, I know that was a lot of information, but as I said, guys, this is just for me trying to explain myself and looking back at the future and wondering if I actually understood the concepts that I'm talking about. I know there was a lot of information thrown, but as I said before, this channel is not for growing, or it's not for anything. I'm just doing this for me, for the fun of it, and yeah, this is just what I like to do for fun. So if you guys enjoyed the video, just comment what you want to see from me.